How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I wanted to talk about some of the upcoming things that are going to be released into the game. We're going to have some new headliner packs today. We're also going to have some new Battle Royale rewards released pretty soon here, followed up with the second inning program within the next week or so. I believe it's 1 week from today is when that will be released. But I wanted to focus this video on how I've completed 10 of the Face of the Franchise Diamonds. 10 team affinities have been completed, and I wanted to focus on how I was able to do so. So I have created a few videos on how to complete those as quickly as you can. Showdown is the fastest way to complete these, as well as a combination of with the exchanges. I believe Showdown and the exchanges are the quickest way to get all the way to 70 fans or 70 program stars earned for each of these team affinities. And this will allow you to be ready for the stage 2 that will be released in the springtime. I'm curious when we're going to have more rewards and what those rewards will be. We could see some signature series players. We could see finest eventually, depending on if the season is actually played in real life. We could also see some flashback cards, some legends, some really amazing content released within some of these team affinity programs. So it's important to complete some of these. I will also have some gameplay with these cards in this video. I'm going to be hopping into the Show Goes On Part 2 event with these guys, but I have used a lot of these cards in ranked seasons. I unlocked these cards pretty early in the game cycle. I had Shohei Ohtani day 2. I had Joey Gallo day 3, I believe, and I was able to complete some of those Showdown moments as well as exchanges. I think that those two ways are the quickest ways to do it. You can also complete these team affinities through March to October. They've released extra rewards throughout March to October and more program stars. The only card you will not see gameplay of in this video is Byron Buxton. I'll be using Mike Trout in center field. I was able to pull Mike Trout on day 1 release night, so I'll be using him in center field during the event, but Byron Buxton will be on the bench, and I plan on using that card in ranked seasons as well. I've had a lot of gameplay with each and every one of these diamonds. I was using Byron Buxton in center field my first few games of ranked seasons. That card is really glitchy. These are the most recent Face of the Franchise Diamonds I've accumulated. I picked up Carlos Santana and Carlos Correa, debuted them in the previous video, but I wanted to talk about a little bit more about Showdown and how you can kind of play the first few missions of Showdown for those team affinities and try to build up your team a little bit, try to unlock a couple of players. And you'll also obtain a few runs by completing some of those moments towards the final Showdown, and that will help you. Instead of skipping all the way to the end, you don't necessarily have to do that. I did that for a few times, but that was when it was on Veteran. Now all those Showdown moments are on All-Star. This screenshot right here, I was able to complete all of Stage 1 Team Affinity moments, and I feel like that will be important for Stage 2. I feel like if you didn't complete Stage 1, then you might not necessarily have Stage 2 moments unlocked for that specific team, or if you're not able to complete all of them. So those are just some of my thoughts. Those are things I'm thinking about, but let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. As you can see here, we're going up against Corey Kluber. This is the first event game I'm playing for this The Show Goes On Part 2, and this one is on Hall of Fame difficulty. So the PCI is going to be a little bit smaller. The timing windows are going to be a little bit shortened, so they're going to be shrunk a little bit, and you'll have to be a little bit more precise with your PCI placement as well as the timing of your swing. So Juan Soto has been an absolute beast for me since picking him up. Here, Mike Trout, the only live series card in the lineup. He's not going to get the job done. I missed that sinker low and in, just dropped the PCI, swung swung over the middle of the plate, lower in the zone, and just got under it. But Josh Bell, recently put him back in the lineup. I can't use Eddie Matthews for this event, but I also want to use Josh Bell in my ranked team. Because he has that switch hitting factor, he has very similar stats to that Eddie Matthews. He plays first base, so that will allow me to use Joey Gallo's gold fielding at third base. I'll use Eddie Matthews off the bench, and I'll also probably have a team update at the end of this video as well. But so far throughout this game, I was kind of locked in. I was squaring up the ball. I was able to get the timing down on Hall of Fame. First time playing Hall of Fame since making World Series. So this is something that's a little bit newer for me after playing, 30, 40 games of the event. on All-Star. Definitely different timing windows hopping back into Hall of Fame, but it's much easier to pitch in this game on Hall of Fame difficulty, in my opinion, because it's so much more difficult to hit. I feel like on All-Star and lower difficulties in ranked seasons, I think you're playing on veteran up until a certain point, then All-Star up until 700s, and then Hall of Fame if both opponents are in the 700 rating. But for the most part, I feel like the hitting and the PCI placement is so much easier on veteran and All-Star than it is Hall of Fame. There's a huge difference on some of these modes. But anyway, we have Corey Kluber trying to get through this first inning here. And this card's been really good. I've raised his ERA a little bit, but I'm like 12-1 or 14-1, somewhere in that range, 12 to 14 wins with this Corey Kluber. A lot of those games have been in the event, but he has done really well for me in ranked seasons. So I've kind of messed up my players' stats in terms of wins, at-bats per game, and things like that, playing these shortened 3-inning games. But also I wanted to talk a little bit about the patch that affected 3-inning games as well. They've kind of changed some stamina, the way stamina regenerates, as well as the amount of stamina that each pitcher has in some of these 3-inning games. So we might not see as many pitchers go into that yellow energy range, which makes them much easier to hit. I've noticed that. I've noticed the PCI will get bigger as the pitcher is thrown, 20 or 30 pitches, as we see here with Corey Kluber. I'm able to take him deep on a pitch that I wasn't necessarily on all the way. I mean, the entire ball icon was in the PCI, but I was kind of got it off the inside part of the bat. Still pulled it out for a home run. That Juan Soto is an absolute beast against righties. Still has a little bit of pop versus lefties, but I wanted to talk a little bit about that patch and those adjustments made. So they're really actively working hard to try to fix some of these little things involved with the game. They're trying to work on that home run banner glitch where it just pops up blocking the score. They're trying to work on a couple of the fielding changes in the game. They're working on some visuals. They're working on a lot of things. So it's important to keep that in mind, that the game is constantly changing, and they've already made it a little bit more difficult in terms of hitting, and they've made pitching a little bit more rewarding. There has been a lot of adjustments made in a short period of time. I mean, we're not even a month into the game yet, and we've already had 4 or 5 patches, a bunch of content released, and we'll have more released into the game later this afternoon. Probably around the time I'm uploading this video, we'll have set 7 headliners, as well as a good chance of that Amir Garrett, to have him unlocked throughout moments, or one of those player programs similar to Curtis Granderson, Kerry Wood. We might have another one of those involving Amir Garrett, left-handed reliever. So I did have John Franco. I debuted John Franco in the previous video, as well as a couple of these cards, Face of the Franchise Diamonds. And I wanted to say that I sold that John Franco because of that Amir Garrett. I don't think that Amir Garrett will be better than Franco, but I feel like I'll be able to use that lefty for now until we get some more cards released into the game. And I'm still not quite sure if we're going to get a better John Franco. I'm not sure if Signature Series cards are going to be the best versions of cards in this year's game. We could see a prime version of John Franco that you're able to prestige. I'm still curious on when we're going to be able to prestige the cards from the XP reward path. I know that Mickey Mantle, Gary Sheffield, Craig Biggio, and a couple of the program cards, all the program cards you're able to prestige. But I'm curious about prestiging the XP reward path cards, maybe potentially Corey Kluber sometime. I'm curious about those cards, Hal Newhouser, those types of cards as well throughout the XP reward path. But anyway, speaking of the XP reward path, I'm at level 19 silver. My plan is to take Raul Mondesi or Alberto Mondesi at level 25 silver, and then I'll take either Hal Newhouser or Raleigh Fingers. I'm leaning towards Raleigh Fingers at the level 40 pack. Anyway, I'm also approaching some of these extra rewards. In the first inning program, we'll have the second inning program released 1 week from today, 1 week and 1 hour from this screenshot. But a quick calendar update, we'll have the Show Goes On 2, that took place, new Battle Royale rewards, the second inning program. I'm still curious to when the ranked season ends, But we'll have to wait for that, and we'll have to wait for more World Series rewards until they update that screenshot for the schedule. But appreciate everybody watching this video. Thank you all for the positive feedback in the comments, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.